Hi there, this is obviously take two. We're actually, it's Laura from Laura Inspire, and I've got Jyoti here, and we're going to do some inspiring stories by Jyoti, and this is going to be a bit of a series going forward. But Jyoti is fantastic storyteller and has got a wealth of information to share with us. So her I'll let her share a little bit more, but it's helping you to find your direction. So I'm going to flip this around and then we can settle back in and listen to Jyoti tell her storytelling and inspiring us all. So stay tuned. Go for it, Jyoti.
Okay, hi everybody. So this is a wonderful story to help you feel inspired and take the steps you need to take in order to find what's your true direction. It's called Jumping Mouse. Here's a painting that I did of Jumping Mouse, which is part of a series that I've done for women about their direction. So here we go, Jumping Mouse. A long, long time ago, but only yesterday, there lived a little mouse. And she lived with all the other little mice down a hole. And every day they'd come up in the morning and forage around for food. But this little mouse is a bit different from the rest because she would say that she could hear something very different, very beautiful. And she'd ask all the other mice, "Can you hear that beautiful sound? It's wonderful, I can hear it." And they'd all say, "No, don't know what you're talking about." And they'd look at each other a little bit like, "Oh dear, what's the matter with her?" But Jumping Mouse was very convinced that there was something else, something she could hear that was extremely beautiful. So she kept going a little bit further every day, a little bit further and a little bit further. And eventually she seemed to be out of where all the other mice were. And she's listening and listening, her ear cocked. And suddenly she bumped into the very large derriere of a raccoon. And the raccoon said to her, "Oh, hello, little mouse, what are you doing?" And she said, "Well, I can hear this amazing sound. Can you hear it, raccoon?" The raccoon said, "Oh, yes, I know what you're talking about. It's the sacred river." She said, "Oh, the sacred river." And the raccoon said, "Yes, do you want to see it?" "I'd love to," she said. "I've heard some stories about sacred rivers, but never seen one." So the raccoon said, "You follow me, little mouse. I'll show you the way." So off went Raccoon, and she went behind Raccoon, and they went all the way through the long grass. And as they walked, the sound got louder and louder, and little Jumping Mouse was getting very excited. And eventually Raccoon stopped, and she almost bumped into him. And Raccoon said, "I'll stand aside, you can have a look." So he stood aside, and there was the glittering waters of the sacred river rushing along, and it was so magnificent, so beautiful. And she stood there and looked with awe at this incredible sight and this beautiful sound of the flowing waters. And Raccoon said, "I tell you what, I'll leave you and you have a little sit by the bank and I'll come back for you later." So she sat down there and put her little legs out, and she's looking at the water, and she's so excited, and "Wait until I tell all the other mice, and this is so good, and I've seen the sacred river." And she's listening and listening, and then this strange croaky voice from down below said to her, "Ha! You think you see something really good, don't you?" She looked down, and there was a big green frog. And she said, "Yes, I have. Look, it's the sacred river. It's so amazing." And Frog, who was Grandmother Frog, said to her, "Yeah," she says, "it's pretty good, but there's something even better, even more incredible than this, if you're really prepared to take a look." She said, "Oh, well, it's an exciting day," she said, "Grandmother Frog. Why not tell me what it is?" And Grandmother Frog said, "The best way is if I get you to see it." And she said, "The best way is get up on your hind feet, and I want you to jump as high as you can." She said, "What, jump?" And she said, "But I'm right on the edge, right near the river. I might fall in, and I can't swim. Nobody's taught me to swim. Oh dear, what am I going to do? What am I going to do?" And the frog said, calm down. It's okay. Take a few deep breaths." She said, "I'll be here, and you won't fall in. You'll be fine." So Jumping Mouse said, "Oh, okay. So Grandmother Frog said, "Right, stand on your little legs, and I'm going to count to 3, and then you jump as high as you can." So Jumping Mouse got on her little hind legs. She's all shaky. And Grandmother Frog said, "Right, 1, oh, get ready, 2, 3, jump." And she jumped and jumped. She's jumping and jumping. And Grandmother Frog calls out from below, look, little mouse, what do you see? And she looked, and in the distance she saw the glittering snow on the sacred mountains. And she was so amazed that she could see this sight. And then she fell down, and into the water, splash. And she starts to drown because she couldn't swim. She said, "Oh, no, this is terrible. I'm drowning, help." And then Grandmother Frog came and picked her up out of the water and swam with her to the bank and plopped her on the side. And She's all wet and bedraggled and coughing and spluttering water. And Grandmother Frog said, "There, told you you'd be all right." She said, "No, I almost drowned. It was terrible. I wish I'd never done it. And, oh, this is awful." And Grandmother Frog said, "Yes, but what did you see?" Said, "Oh, yes," she said, "I saw the sacred I saw the sacred mountains." And Grandmother Frog said, "Yes, see, they exist. They're there, you know." And she said, "I'm going to run back. I'm going to tell all the other mice what I've seen." And Grandmother Frog said, "Oh, not a good idea." She said, "No, I've got to tell them. I've got to tell them. It's so exciting." And off she went, splish, splash, all squelch, squelch, and ran off and back to the other mice who were just collecting all their grain and going down the hole again, getting sunset. And she said, "Guess what I saw? I ran to the great river and I fell in and a frog came and I looked and there's the snow and all." And she's telling them all and they're all looking at her. Oh dear, she's really cracked it this time. She's really gone a little bit mental. And they said, "Go away, you know, go on, shoo, we don't want to know you. You're not to come down here with us." And they climbed down the hole and shut it and they wouldn't let her in. So she was sitting there all, "Oh, this is terrible. What do I do now?" And Raccoon came bumbling along. Said, "Oh, hello, little mouse. You know, you made it back all right." And she said, "Yes, but they won't let me down the hole. And I'm all wet through. And, what am I going to do?" And Raccoon said, "Oh, it's all right. You come back with me, and stay overnight with me and Mrs. Raccoon and the baby raccoons. And we'll give you some food. And then you'll be ready for your journey." She said, What do you mean, journey? What? She said, "Oh, well, you can sleep on it. We'll let you know in the morning." So she thought, well, no choice, I'll go back with Raccoon. And she had a good night. She had a nice feast and everything with Raccoon family. And the next morning, Raccoon said, "Right, you ready? Come on. We're going to take you. And before you go, here's a little bag with some very special treats that are going to help you on your way." Oh, she said, "Okay." So she put the little bag on and off she went after Raccoon. He waddled along through the long grass. And she was thinking, where am I going? Where am I going? Oh, dear. She's getting worried. And Raccoon said, "Right, this is as far as I go. I'm standing back. You've got to head straight that way across the prairie." She said, "The prairie? Oh, no." And she just peeped out and she could see vultures circling in the sky. And she said, "Oh, but the vultures will see me and they'll eat a little mouse." And Raccoon said, "Don't worry, you'll be fine." And he pushed her out and off she went. And she's toddling along thinking, oh, this is not a good idea. And pretty soon she bumped into a very, very large animal that was lying on the ground, on its side, breathing very badly. Like this is going, oh. And she went round to the face of the big animal and she recognised it as the buffalo. And she said, "Oh, great buffalo, why are you wheezing and looking so terrible?" And Buffalo said, "Well, I'm afraid, little mouse, I'm dying of some terrible disease." Jumping Mouse said, "Oh, this is awful. This is terrible. What can I do? How can I help?" And Buffalo said, "There's nothing you could do. I don't know what you are, but you can't help." She said, "Please, there must be something I could do." Buffalo said, "Well, the only medicine that can cure me is the eye of a mouse. But I don't know what mice are like. Have you seen a mouse?" She gulped and she said, "Oh, I'm a mouse." She said, "I'm a mouse." I was all worried. And Buffalo said, "Oh, well, can't take your eye." And little mouse thought to herself, but this is a buffalo, it's very brave. And she took out from the bag something to help her and she rubbed this cream on herself to calm herself down. She saw on the label, it said Madeira, and she thought, oh, this is good. And she felt a lot better. And she said, oh, right. She said, "Well, Buffalo, I'm going to give you one of my eyes." And as soon as she said that, her eye magically popped out of her head and went down Buffalo's throat. Buffalo gulped and swallowed it. And Buffalo said, "Oh, I feel much better, I'm not going to die after all." And Buffalo got up, stood, felt much better. And Buffalo said, "But what are you doing out here, little mouse, on the prairie? Don't you know there's vultures up there?" And she said, "Yes, I do." She said, "But I've got to go across the prairie to the sacred mountains." Oh, Buffalo said, "Well, that's a long journey. Wish you luck with that." And she said, "But how am I going to do it, Buffalo? The vultures are going to get me." And Buffalo said, "I tell you what." She said, "Why don't you walk underneath me? They won't see you. We'll have a good day. We'll walk across the prairie and I'll tell you some good stories." So off she goes with Buffalo. And they had a fantastic day together. Buffalo's telling her lots of amazing stories she never would have believed. And she's walking along thinking to herself, this is incredible. Here I am, a little mouse making all this way. So they get to the edge of the prairie by the end of the day. And there she is. And she's thinking, oh, thank you so much, Buffalo. Buffalo said, "It's my pleasure. Thank you for saving my life." And off goes Buffalo, because buffaloes don't climb mountains. So Then little mouse is looking up at the rocks, thinking, that is a very big rock, even for anybody, let alone a mouse. What am I going to do? But she climbs up as best she can. And on the top of the rock, she finds a wolf. The wolf's lying there looking very puzzled. She said, what's the matter? What's the matter? The wolf says, I've lost my memory. I can't even remember what I am. And the mouse says, oh, that's terrible. She says, that's awful. You're a wolf. Did you know that? She said, oh, yes. Sorry, what did you say? I've forgotten again. The mouse says, well, is there anything that you need that could help get your memory back? Wolf says, well, that's the only thing I remember, funnily enough. Scratches his head and says, it's the eye of a mouse. But I can't remember what a mouse looks like. So how am I going to find one, let alone one willing to give me an eye? And there she is. She's got one eye on her. She said, oh, dear. She thinks, oh, should I tell Wolf that I'm a mouse and I've only got one eye left? What will I do? She thinks, but Wolf's very important, very clever animal, very much needed. I'm only a mouse. And I should be brave. And she takes out something else out of her bag and eats that and feels a bit better and says, oh, thank goodness for this Madeira I brought along with me. And then she thinks, right, I've got the courage now. And she says to the wolf, Wolf, I'm a mouse, and if you like, you can have my eye. As soon as she says that, her eye pops out of her head into Wolf's mouth, and she can't see anymore, but Wolf says to her, oh, I remember now. I'm the guide. I'm the sacred guide that takes everybody up to the top of the sacred mountains. That's my job. And what would you like? You're a mouse, aren't you? Very brave mouse, too. And she said, well, I need to get to the top of the sacred mountains, but now I can't see, Wolf. How am I going to find my way? I am very stupid coming this far. Wolf says, no, you're not. You're all right. He says, climb up my leg, get on my back, hold on to my fur at the back of my neck, and I'll carry you up. She says, fantastic. So she climbs up Wolf's leg, and Wolf's trying not to giggle because it's tickly. She climbs all the way up and grabs hold of Wolf's mane on the top of his neck. And off she goes. You can feel it. Wolf bounding up the rocks. And she's bumbling, off she goes on the wolf's back. And it's getting colder and colder because they're getting higher and higher up the mountain. She can't see anything, but she smells the air and it's different, and she's getting excited, thinking, oh, this is good. Perhaps something will change now. And she's going up and up and up. And she could hear Wolf's paws padding through the snow, pad, pad, pad. And Wolf says, right, I'm going to drop you down here. This is the highest point on the mountain. Spectacular views all the way around. It's just gorgeous. You can see the sun setting, beautiful red everywhere. I'll leave you because I've got to get back down and take everybody else. There you go. Thank you so much, Mouse. And off she goes. So Jumpy Mouse is sitting there on a rock. And she thinks, right, I got here, but I can't see anything. This is awful. I'm as blind as anything. This is silly. Why did I come? And oh dear, what a problem, and so forth. And it's cold and I can't see. And then she hears a croaky voice. Ha! Says the frog. You think you've done something really good, don't you? You again, Grandmother Frog. She said, yes, I'm here too. She said, but Grandmother Frog, what's the point? I've got here, but I've lost my eyes. I can't see. What's the point? And she's getting all sort of sad. And Grandmother Frog says, will you stand up and do something again? Trust me one more time. What have you got to lose after all? She says, well, that's true. Okay, Grandmother Frog, she says, you took me this far, all right. So she gets on her little hind legs and the wind's blowing, so it's a bit wobbly. And Grandmother Frog says, I'm going to count to 3 and then you jump. Right. I hope I don't fall off the mountain. No, you won't fall off this time. You'll be fine. So she gets on her hind legs. 1, 2, 3. And up she jumps as high as she can. She's jumping and jumping and jumping and jumping. And she feels the wind blowing past her face. She's jumping and jumping. And she hears Grandmother Frog, but her voice is very distant. She's trying to listen. Grandmother Frog's saying, little mouse, look to the left of you, look to the left. And she's looking to the left thinking, what? But I can't see. Why am I looking to the left? She's looking to the left, and as she looks to the left, she sees a great vast wing spreading out to the left. She's amazed. And then Grandmother Frog, even further still, is calling out, look to the right, look to the right. Now she looks to the right, and another vast wing is spreading out on either side, and her eyes begin to clear, and it's not grey anymore, and she's looking, and the sun is so spectacular, and little Frog is calling out from down below, little mouse, you've turned into the eagle, now fly away. And she does. And she becomes the great eagle.
Wow. Jyoti, we've got comments going, you're an amazing storyteller. So this is just part 1 of a series of of stories that Jyoti has. So I'm going to flip the camera around, and I just wanted to personally thank Jyoti for telling her story. It is absolutely fantastic. I've heard this story twice. I smiled through the whole entire thing. The first time I heard it, I actually just wanted to jump on the other side of the table with anticipation what was going to happen. So stay tuned. We will continue these. Now, this is a lead on, so if you love the jumping mouse, stay tuned. And you're in Perth, Jyoti and I are actually going to be working together, and we're creating a workshop that will be at the end of September. So I will be posting details about that. So if you are in Perth, stay tuned, and I'll invite you to come along and hear more of Jyoti's wonderful storytelling. Stay tuned, take care, and have a fantastic day. Bye for now.